All right, guys, so we are, well, give me just a second. I'll give you kind of a recap. Kind of get an idea of where I am in frame. Okay. So we are looking at the back end of the 65 Beetle. This is the Beetle that came out of Kansas. I think you can just see just to the left there in the frame how we're still bypassing the fuel tank. It's cleaned out. We actually had a clog going on through the tunnel, the chassis tunnel, the fuel rail, fuel line, the metal line was clogged, but cleared it out. The fuel tank's clean. I'm actually just waiting on the seal for the tank to body placement. So still running off the fuel can here to the left of y'all's view. Did the cam burn on this 2 days ago. Was going to video it on the phone with the guy, got distracted, didn't set up the stand, and just did my thing anyway. So the cam is broken. I did it in the car, not on the test stand. I try not to make that a habit, but I've done it lately. So no leaks, runs really well. This car is a 200 car, as I've mentioned in numerous other videos. I just love working on cars like this. This is a 65, so I mean you're talking almost 60 years, 58 years, so basically 6 decades, and a 2 owner since 71. So Miss Debbie's done a wonderful job taking care of this car. 1776 is an Engel 100 cam. The fuel pump and distributor, Bill Fowler at Sparkworks there in Arizona, did that work. The carburetor is a German pick 34.3 restored by Tim and Volk Bits. The Venturi, if I remember correctly, the Venturi was drilled slightly, and then the main and the idle jets are bumped up a little bit just for the big valve heads and that larger cam. But other than that, she presents herself in a pretty stock form, other than not completely blacked out. You can see the anodized finishes on a few things. The restored bits, as I mentioned, carb distributor, and fuel pump. Had a weird thing going on with the fuel pump. The push rod is the longer rod for these square top fuel pumps. I'm trying to think the last time I put that parts order in, I ordered 10 or 12 of them, and the one I happened to grab is off. It's actually, it's pretty significant. I wouldn't say quite a quarter, but close to it. And I didn't catch it because measuring off of the flange, I was still getting the 13 millimeter half inch. But what was going on is the rod was too long, so when the gear went down in the case, the rod wouldn't travel down enough, so it was overloading the needle valve, the needle jet valve in the carburetor, and smoking and getting way too rich and making a mess of things. But gonna kick the key on. This thing just purrs. This car is so much fun to work on. Beautiful engine. Just gonna kick it on for giggles. I also need to send a portion of this video. I'll probably exclude all of this rambling this morning, but send to the client. I just like to keep people updated. It's fun seeing progressional bits and being informed. So I'm gonna shut up. Let's go turn the key, kick it on, and we'll let it idle a little bit, see how she behaves this morning, and give her a few revs, and then I'll let you guys be for the day. So sit tight. as you can see, a happy running engine. Sure, some adjustments still need to be made to the carburetor, idle. I kind of bypassed the choke there, and seemed kind of low. The idle needs to be bumped up a little bit. Probably some fuel, not too rich, but definitely need to even out the idle and the air fuel mixture screw on that carb. It's a good thing about having, say, 1776 is you get a little bit more power. Earlier cars, it gets a little tricky. Of course, you change the fan shroud out, but it's still, even with the 36 horse style fan shroud, still gets tight in the sides here for dual carbs and making those adjustments. So really just a fan. Beetles, Gias, there's a Beetle out of frame behind you here. The engine bays are massive, so you can kind of do what you want. Early bays, the same. But these Beetles, the earlier Beetles and stuff, they get a little tight with dual carbs. So 1776 build, even like an 1835 thick wall, as long as the carburetor is appropriated for the cam, the duration, the lobe duration on the camshaft, and you're getting that fuel delivery, and the venturi is the size that you need, you can really get good power out of basically a stock presentation engine that you'll notice in the driver's seat. No, you're not putting 165 horsepower out and everything, but it's really, the car is so light, the drivability through the tooth of the gear, you can really get it out of, not, you're bumping it up from stock, but the displacement, this is a good ground for a good daily driver, cruiser, date night, grocery getter, going to watch the grandkids play baseball on a Thursday night type of car. Engine is usable. You can still use the owner manuals and the shop manuals and stuff for basically all troubleshooting and maintenance. Really a fan of this. I think I've kind of dubbed this the super stock setup because more or less it looks stock in application, but on the road you're going to notice the torque difference and the horsepower difference. Sure, a lot of that is displacement. A lot of that is the camshaft. It's a lot more aggressive of a lobe duration. Not massive, still pretty mild to some guys out there building their large motors. But really a fan of this setup. Other than a few adjustments to the carburetor, don't pay any merit to the air cleaner there. That's just something that I just use for test purposes. I ordered another half dozen of those coming in, doing away with the oil bath breather that would have been appropriated for 65. You do want to, there's mixed reviews on how to set their compressions and break in the rings and stuff with what filter you have on here. But like as I mentioned, camshaft burn has been completed on this car. I've adjusted the valves on this car yesterday. I still need to dump the oil on this guy and change that fluid out. The air filter back on there. Need to finish topping off the transaxle, get the passenger wheel back on here, get this thing finally off the lift. It's been living here for a minute, and take to the road and do the break-in procedures for the pistons, the rings and stuff for the pistons and cylinders. This car will be going to detail. I need to call Josh. I'm calling you, and to get up a time set up for getting this thing the much needed love that it deserves. This car has been repainted. There are some blemishes. There are some orange peel on really most specifically on this passenger door. Scratches, you name it. Black shows it all. But Josh is a wizard, and he's done a couple other clients of mine's cars. And it's just like, wow, the guys that do detail, it's an art form. So really excited to see what this car, how it presents itself at the end of this month. I will be doing a kind of a recap video with this car. I'm in love with this car. Been doing this for a while, and there's been a few cars that immediately come to mind, and this is definitely going to be one of them. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. All you do is asking me questions and stuff on YouTube. I'm grateful to know that you enjoy the content and that you guys are watching things and engaged and asking questions. That's pretty cool. it's interesting to be on this side of it, because YouTube is informative, it's entertaining, and I enjoy doing it. So videos like this, I appreciate you guys hanging out. But have a good day. Thanks for tuning in. 65, kind of a progress update. I've rambled enough. You guys be cool. We'll see you on the road.